Bowls buddies, hello and welcome to a cheeky new series of videos that I thought I'd do to pass the time. I feel a bit bad only having one or two videos for you a week, and with nothing else to show you, I thought, what can I do? I know, I'll have a look through the Bowlers World archives that many of you already have joined on Facebook, but for those of you that haven't joined the Bowlers World Archive, I'll put a link in the description of this video. So what I thought I'd do is have a look back at Bowlers Worlds from this month, December, through the years, and I'll do one a week, and then when it gets to January I'll start doing Januaries, and just to see what was happening, what the game was like, whether we faced the same issues then as we do now, or just for interest, just for something that might occupy you for 10 or 15 minutes. So thank you for joining me. Don't forget, same as always, if you enjoy this video, please hit the like button, and if you're not already a Bowls buddy, hit that subscribe button. It's absolutely free of charge, and don't forget to hit the notification bell for notifications of new content on the channel. So the one we're going to dive into this week is Bowlers World issue number 112 from December 1989. I was 16 years old then, absolutely mad keen on bowls. I think I was playing indoor bowls at this point at Blackburn, but anyway, by the by. So on the front cover we have a Spot the Santa competition. 5 bottles of whiskey to give away if you could name this bowler. I don't think it takes a lot of guessing, does it? Chris MacDonald dressed as Santa Claus, making a good job of it as well. I've never seen him that happy. Also on the front cover, some Christmas gift ideas from Thurston's. Crown Green bowls from £33, bowls measures from £1.73. New Club Hawk 9-foot measure, yeah, I remember them coming out, £8.95. Jeepers, they should be about 60 quid now. Anyway, I'm not going to read everything. Obviously I'll put these on screen. I'm just going to pick out some things that I found interesting, and I think that you probably will too. And the first one is on page 4, and it's quite relevant really when you think about what's happening in our game at this moment in time. And it's entitled Crunch Time for the Game. The rescue package for clubs faced with green closure devised by the BCGBA is indeed very welcome news, but is it really enough? Asks Eric Thornley, who has recently passed away, I believe. Make no mistake, this Bowling Green versus developer controversy has reached a crunch point during the past 12 months and is now the biggest issue in the game. In the Altrincham area, one green, Linotype, which was a very well-known famous wintergreen venue, almost disappeared overnight, and now 3 more are under threat of the axe. The Crime View at Oldham is still embroiled in a bitter battle with the brewery, and the Riverside Club in Denton will be ripped up in March to build a motel. One bright spot on the otherwise dismal horizon is the victory of the Lloyd's Club at Chorlton in preventing Bass from chopping off a chunk of their distinctive and characteristic green to build a restaurant. It is true the guidelines give a club some idea as how to start to object to the closure if placed in this unfortunate situation. It is up to all clubs, individuals, members of the public to help them in whatever way possible. The national body helps in the way of grants for solicitor fees, but they could do much more. I would suggest the setting up of a Save Our Greens from Closure committee, say 3 or 4 members from different counties in the BCGBA. This committee could collate all information on green closure, and then a club which was in difficulty, once the committee could act as troubleshooters and, armed with the file, make a flying visit to the trouble spot. I'm not suggesting for 1 minute that he would be the saviour of the club and the club could just sit back, far from it, but he will be able to present to the club members exactly what happened in other cases and other parts of the country and what the members had done about it. I fully realise the reasons for green closures may vary from county to county and club to club. Some may not be able to be saved, but at least the ruling body will be seen to be doing something positive at what is literally the grassroots of the game and the very foundation of Crown Green Bowl. Absolutely. And I think it's just as relevant now. I actually looked up the grant that the British Crown Green offer for legal fees to help fight green closure, and it's £100, which would pay for about 1 hour of a solicitor's time. So I don't think that went anywhere, because we're still in more or less the same situation, losing greens at an alarming rate, and not a lot seems to be done about it. Also on the same page, there's a little bit about my old pal Mel Evans, sadly missed. Third title of the season. Chadsmore's Mel Evans, after an easy 21-7 win in the semi-finals against Warwick and Worcester County star Tony Gibbons, collected the £200 first prize in the Coombs Wood Floodlit at Hales Owen in the West Midlands. He recovered from being 2017 down in the final to Eric Winstone from the Cock-In to collect the 4 required to clinch a narrow 21-20 success. The triumph made it a hat-trick of successes for the Staffordshire County player in singles events in 1989. Wasn't just a pretty face and an excellent administrator, he could play the game a bit too, as a lot of us could back in the day. Yeah, there's quite a few bits and pieces. The next one that caught my eye is on page 8, and it's about David Holt, who originally was from I want to say Salford, but it wasn't Salford, North Manchester, and at the age of 24 he became manager of the Blackpool Borough Indoor Bowls Club, which coincidentally enough was literally 200 yards from where the old Talbot Green used to be. He's now in Australia, I think, as a professional bowler. They have professional bowlers out there running indoor clubs, outdoor clubs, all sorts of clubs. Very big parts of the community over there as well. The Blackpool Centre is the second in the area after the establishing of the popular Blackpool Fylde Indoor Club at Newton Hall, Staining. The new club has 500 members and the target is to double that. It's been open for 18 months and has 8 rinks. And for those of you that never went there, it was a very impressive facility. They had a restaurant and a bar as well. Spent a lot of time at Blackpool Borough. I was a member at Blackburn and then Chorley. And then you look at indoor bowls now, and we used to have 6 indoor clubs, all affiliated to the EIBA, and now I believe there's 2 in Lancashire, neither of which take part in any of the affiliated events, and they're just generally used for, you know, indoor bowls, just playing in leagues and things like that. Internally really, there's one at Oldham still, Oldham Leisure Centre, and the other one is at Swinton, next to, well, it's part of the snooker hall that's there. I'm thinking it's still there. I don't, if it isn't, I apologise, but I'm pretty sure it's still there. So it's amazing really how flat green, I mean, Lancashire won the indoor championship in the year 2000. I played in that, and how far it's fallen. It's criminal really. Why? I don't know. Are people preferring to play outdoor bowls in winter, or is the cost too much, or do people just not want to play bowls and have a break? Who knows? But I think it's very sad that we've gone from having such a strong indoor county to having, well, nothing in a very short space of time. So, page 11, to go with Mel, I thought I've got to show you Lynn. Lynn Pritchett is the winner of the 1989 Warwickshire Ladies County Averages. 19-year-old Lynn bowls at the Old House at Home Club in Harborne, Birmingham. Lynn, who has been bowling for about 4 years, has had a fair amount of success in the past year. She was runner-up in the Morecambe Ladies Open and also got to the last 32 in the Ladies Waterloo. And she would go on to get a lot further than that in the Waterloo and win it a ridiculous number of times. Shouldn't be allowed, somebody being so good. Page 12. Page 12. Scoreboard is on the right lines. Now, for those of you that have been to Murfield Old Bank, you'll know that they have these old tram, whatever they are, tram numbers to do the scoring, and 1989 was the year they were installed. So, one of the first things that takes one's eye upon arriving at Murfield Old Bank Green during an open competition is the unique scoreboard. It is in fact several redundant Leeds City tram numbers with winding gear which made drivers and conductors' arms ache as they rang the changes at terminus on 10-hour daily shifts. Not so Harry Lloyd, a sprightly 73-year-old bank member who has been doing the scorer's job and marking for the past 6 seasons. I love every minute of it, and when the season closes I look forward to next season, if they'll have me, he confided. Harry, who has lived across from the green for 24 years, is frequently asked the origin of the Old Bank scoreboard and by now has the full patter off. Mind you, if they get too technical and probe too deep, then I pass them on to either Andrew or Peter Sykes, added Harry. Well, I've got that wrong. They were obviously installed many years before that and I've just not read it properly. So, apologies there. And the last one I want to cover is on the back page, page 16, and it's Kevin conquers a top-class field. Young Kevan Shaw put some top names in their place as he won the Brook Mills Garage £1,000 handicap at Meltham. Now, Meltham is a place where you go in July and August and it's snowing, so he obviously put a coat on. The 20-year-old Bolton player who last year won the Tournament Players Association Merit had a top-class field to contend with, but he's sure, and he conquered. His victory, which earned him £300 in 1989, a lot of money, eventually came with a 21-16 win against Lower Hopton's Graham Hurst, one of Yorkshire's county official measurers, in the final. Yeah, also a reasonable player as well, and a bookie. But he had earlier opened 1 or 2 pairs of eyes by defeating Ken Strutt of Diggle, who was a green expert, and Alan Thompson of Murfield Old Bank, 2 county men who have milked Meltham's prize money to some panhandle in their time. Shaw beat Strutt 21-19 in the semi-final and Thompson 21-20 in the quarter-final after he had opened his account with a 21-16 success against Nigel Parsonage, the crew contender who won the Butlin Classic at Scarborough last year. Fantastic. I'll quickly go through the results. First round, Alan Thompson 21, S Battler 11, KT Shaw 21, M Parsonage 16, B Derbyshire 21, J Sheard 17, K Strutt 21, M Robinson 13, G Hurst 21, T Hayes 17, A Bird 21, C Livesey 16, R Hitchin 21, C Battler 14, R Swallow 21, P Strutt 20. Ooh, Paul Strutt crashing out there. Second round, Shaw 21, Thompson 20, Strutt 21, Derbyshire 9, Hurst 21, Bird 14, Hitchin 21, Swallow 10. Semi-finals, Shaw 21, Strutt 19, Hurst 21, Hitchin 8, and as we know, Cavan Shaw beat Graham Hurst 21-16 in the final. What a nice picture there. Sir Bob at the front and Ken at the back. And I was going to leave it there, but I wouldn't be me unless I just read this little bit out. 16-year-old Andrew Cairns from Rawtenstall, North Lanxon Junior County player, scored his best senior win to date when he won the Ramsbottom Liberal Club's £300 Open competition. It's now called Buchanan's, by the way. He is the youngest winner of this competition, beating Ian McNeil, also from Rawtenstall, 21-12 in the final. In the semi-final, he had a remarkable win against his opponent when, after trailing 3-0, he scored 21 chalks without reply, bowling immaculately in the corners to win 21-3. That sentence has never been uttered again, by the way. Bowling immaculately in the corners. Well, not about me anyway. Andrew, who bowls for 2 senior edge-side teams, also won the club aggregate for the Rosendale League. Wow! So there you go, that was 16-year-old me when I could play. So, that's the end of it really. Just a few bits and pieces out of it. I really do suggest that if you're not already joined the Facebook group, please join. I'll approve your membership. It costs nothing, and there's all these Bowlers Worlds available to you under the files section, and they just make fascinating reading at a time when bowls was a lot bigger and in better nick than it is now, but as we saw earlier, still had the problems. So I'll do the same again next Monday. I'll pick a different year, maybe go even earlier if possible. I know they didn't start doing December issues until later on in the run, but I'll see what I can find. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Hopefully you'll tell your friends. Hopefully you'll share this all over social media, and hopefully you'll join me on Wednesday for another episode of AC's Talking Bowls. I'm going to have a lot to talk about this week. So thanks for joining me, guys. Stay safe. Catch you later in the week. Bye for now.